Welcome to the Cat Forever channel. When you head to the kitchen, your cat follows. When you enter the office, he's right behind you. If you were planning a trip to Paris, he probably tried to book a flight too. What's the reason for this constant companionship? This behavior goes far beyond a simple habit or established routine. In fact, it's a specific form of communication that every owner should understand. Let's decipher this particular language together. First reason, you represent safety and protection. Let's start with one of the most touching explanations. Before acknowledging that perhaps your pet simply wants to stay close to you to ensure its meals, you symbolize tranquility and protection for it. It functions as a human refuge, so to speak. Allow me to clarify this concept. In the wild, felines simultaneously occupy the positions of hunter and prey. It's not that they chase each other. That would be absurd. Rather, they are predators to some species, but vulnerable to others. This duality makes them naturally curious, as they carry in their DNA both the instinct to seek food and the instinct to protect themselves from becoming food for others. For this reason, they develop the habit of finding small, safe hiding places where they can take refuge. A safe place doesn't necessarily have to be a specific physical space. It can be other members of the litter with whom they feel protected. This interpretation of comfort zone also applies to humans, doesn't it? Someone's safe haven can literally be a building, like their favorite team stadium or their favorite movie theater. But it can also be a person who creates a sense of security around them, like a spouse, a longtime friend, or a close sibling. Your cat can follow you because they've chosen you as their designated safe space. What an extraordinary honor. To be fair, I completely understand, as it works both ways. When I mentioned the people humans turn into their own safe havens, I didn't mention pets, but I should have. For many of us, it's not a partner, old friend, or a close sibling who becomes our safe haven. It's our feline. So, that constant shadow following you around the house is your cat saying, "I feel protected when you're around," and if you feel the same way in return, show it with affection and attention. If you also consider your feline your comfort zone, leave a like on this video. I'm sure we're not alone. Second reason, they are social creatures in their own way. There's a stereotype I've repeatedly challenged. It's such a significant misconception that it needs to be eliminated once and for all. Cats are affectionate. The propaganda that they're grumpy little tyrants who always prefer solitude needs to stop. They certainly enjoy being alone occasionally, but who doesn't? I appreciate it too. Why do you think I work from home? However, they sometimes crave company. Adequate studies have shown that felines develop deeply complex and special bonds not only with humans, but with other animals as well. A 2019 study published in the journal Current Biology highlighted that the depth of the bond between a cat and its owner can rival that between a dog and its owner, and even between a child and a human parent. If your feline constantly stays by your side, they may simply be craving your company because they see you as a crucial member of their social group. Even if they're not meowing or rubbing against you constantly, simply being in the same room can be their way of bonding. It's similar to texting a friend just to say hi for no particular reason, a subtle way to stay in touch and connected. Third factor, slaves to routine. Another aspect I've discussed before, but which is fundamental to feline behavior, is how much they love routines. If you maintain a regular schedule, they'll align with your schedule and follow it rigorously, as they thrive on predictability and established patterns. If you spend a lot of time at home, perhaps working remotely, integrating into the vibrations of your routine can intensify them to the point where they literally follow you wherever you are. After all, you're the most present force in their lives, and being close helps regulate their day. If you suddenly disappear from a room where you're normally at a certain time, for example, your office during work hours, they may follow you to try to figure out what's going on. They want to be with you or near you to make sure everything in the house is working exactly as it should. Fourth reason, odor association and familiarity. Felines' sense of smell is extraordinarily powerful. If something smells bad, the aroma is much more intense to a cat. But if something smells pleasant, it's even better for them. Certain smells become associated with specific situations. For example, they recognize the scent of the veterinary clinic. If they pick up on that odor before being led through those doors, they may panic because they don't need to know where they are. The smell alone alerts them to the location. But this also applies to positive aspects, and that includes you. Whether you can perceive it or not, you possess a unique and powerful scent. Your cat learns to know you deeply, and because of the wonderful way you treat and care for them, your scent represents love and attention. When they create their familiar fragrance, they know that warmth, affection, and care are on their way. By staying close, they have the chance to consistently immerse themselves in this comforting scent, reducing stress and reinforcing positive feelings. So your cat may insist on staying close because he wants more of your wonderful scent. Fifth explanation, you are heated. Let's address this now. I mentioned it earlier, so let's clarify. All that talk about how much your cat loves you and how much joy you bring them, and how they want to be around you because you make them happy, and you smell great, all of that may be true. But sometimes they're simply taking advantage of your body heat. Never underestimate how much a feline loves to stay warm. Their natural body temperature is higher than ours, about 39 C. For this reason, they're naturally drawn to heat sources. That's why they love sunlight, heating pads, freshly worn clothes, and even laptops. But most importantly, it's one of the reasons they settle into your lap and snuggle up to you, because you're a source of warmth. You're a radiator in human form. When your cat snuggles nearby or sits on your laptop keyboard while you work, it's partly because you're warm. And if your lap is empty, it's an irresistible invitation. Sixth factor, you are the power source. While we're discussing less loving reasons why your cat follows you, let's be realistic. Felines like to eat, and you're the one providing them. Naturally, they follow you around. You're responsible for their meals. They're following you because they know there's a good chance they'll get a meal at the end. A behavioral study found that cats can learn to anticipate feeding based on human cues like voices, footsteps, or even the sound of a specific cabinet being opened. Certain behavioral traits alert them to the imminence of food. Even if your cat isn't actively begging, staying close or following you may be their way of staying alert if you decide it's snack time. Seventh reason, they are trying to communicate something. Sometimes your cat's clingy behavior has nothing to do with you. It's more about them and something they want to express. For many felines, following you is an attempt at communication. They want you to notice them because they have something to convey. Perhaps they're trying to communicate that they're bored, anxious, or even unwell. Regarding the latter, cats don't usually show obvious pain until it's too late. Therefore, it's vital to observe any behavioral changes to detect if something is wrong before it becomes obvious. And an increase in dependence is a warning sign. Some cats seek closeness with their owners when they feel unwell. It's their way of asking for help or reassurance. So, if your cat is normally more independent, but is suddenly acting unusually needy, pay attention. They may need extra care or, in the worst case scenario, a veterinary visit. The silent language of feline love. Now you have the keys to deciphering why your feline chose you as their constant companion. Whether it's love, security, routine, body heat, anticipation of food, or the need for communication, every shadow they make as they follow you carries a special meaning. Remember, when your cat accompanies you around the house, they're sharing their purest language, the one that doesn't need meows or purrs to be understood. It's the language of presence, bonding, and absolute trust. The next time you notice that furry shadow following you, stop for a moment and recognize the gift you're receiving. This isn't just a cat seeking attention. This is a being who has chosen you as its safe haven, its source of comfort, and its life partner. If this content has transformed your perspective on your feline's behavior, please like and subscribe to the Cat Forever channel to discover more fascinating secrets from the feline universe. And in the comments, share, which of these traits do you recognize most in your cat? What behavior has always intrigued you? Your story might be just what another owner needs to better understand their companion. Until the next video, and remember, you don't just have a cat, you have a best friend who speaks a unique language, and now you know how to listen to it.